$40,000 snakes, a $6-figure butterfly to a $8-figure green monkey. These are the 10 most expensive pets in the world, and most of them cost more than your life.
Oh, please stop. Please stop it.
You see, not everybody is okay with snakes, but if the idea doesn't make you squimish, they're actually perfectly safe.
Carlos! I've been bitten by a snake!
Well, most of the time. Over 10,000 pythons are sold in the US every year, but in the midst of these pythons is the Lavender albino python. This python is no ordinary snake. It has very unusual yellow markings and startling red eyes. And for decades, the Lavender albino python was considered the most expensive pet in the world. For the youngings, they go for around $40,000. This beast doesn't come cheap, and with them growing to about 8 feet in length, if not taken care of properly, they can injure or kill a human being. Next in line, we have the friendly chimps. These intelligent human-like creatures have endeared themselves to us through pop culture. Who wouldn't want a chimp? Plus, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, had one. And if they are good enough for him, they should be good enough for anyone with way much money on their hands. Well, if you are in the market for one of these, you need to have deep pockets to provide 4 pounds of food daily and maintain a good habitat for primate. You can have your own chimpanzee pal for around $60,000. Just make sure that you are in the relationship for long term. These chimps can live to up to 60 years, and there's no divorce in this one.
I want a divorce!
If you don't want a charming chimp as a pet, then consider the male stag beetle. They like to use those large antler-like jaws to bite, and you would only want one unless you want them to fight to death. In fact, stag beetle fighting is a sport that is popular in some parts of the world, which is part of what makes them so expensive. A prime specimen could potentially make its owner a lot of money, so it's more of a collector's item than a pet, and it is certainly not because they are cute and cuddly. These beetles can grow up to 6 inches in length. If you don't have the heebie-jeebies, then they are pretty cool looking creatures. These little creatures will set you back up to $89,000. This beetle costs more than my apartment, so be sure to subscribe and like the video so that you can get a new apartment. Maybe you're not looking for a beetle, but you want something to ride. Well, the Arabian horse is king. It is one of the oldest horse breeds in the world. This horse was bred in the Arabian Peninsula almost 4,500 years ago, and due to the selective breeding, they possess all of the traits that people want in horses, like friendliness, willingness to cooperate with people, body structure, and muscle tone, which makes the breed a paragon of athleticism, dominating the sports of horse racing and enduring. Because of these traits, owning one will set you back a penny. The Arabian horse goes for about $100,000, and maintaining their health and feeding them isn't going to be cheap either. Chances are you like the finer things in life, and chances are you have never seen a white lion in your life, no matter how many zoos you have visited. Well, that is because they are very rare in the extreme. These lions were not known to exist until one was spotted in the wild in 1938, and that person decided to take it home. The pristine white color is due to a genetic mutation, which must be present in both mother and father, but oddly, white lions are not albinos. These lions are mostly bred for captivity, but only through the use of inbreeding, which comes with other significant risks. A single white cub can cost you up to $140,000 if you can find one. This isn't a pet that you can buy because Sir Lancelot the Labrador is one of a kind. Well, in 2008, a couple lost their beloved pup, Sir Lancelot, to cancer. The couple had a lot of money to attempt something that had never ever been done in the world, bringing their pet back to life through cloning. This attempt costed them a whopping $155,000, but it was wildly successful. It produced Sir Lancelot, whom the couple say has the same personality and mannerisms as the original Lancelot, and has managed to father over 8 puppies, which brings us to the star question of today. Let us know in the comments, would you clone your pet if money was not the issue? The Morpho Aurora butterfly is next up in line. Unlike all the other pets in this list, this butterfly was dead and preserved when it was sold. But it is a truly unique specimen, a bizarre admiration that will never be found again in our lifetime. Native to Peru and Bolivia, it is a beautiful insect in its own rights. This butterfly brought in the big bucks for one specific reason: an extra wing. You see, a normal butterfly has 4 wings, but the Morpho Aurora butterfly sold to a private collector had 5 wings, the 5th one being a deformity. A deformity that was able to shoot the price of this butterfly to a whopping $195,000. The Holstein cow is the most prized breed, valued for their high milk production and docile temperament. A cow named Missy is the queen of this breed. Due to her sterling genetic makeup, Missy was sold at an auction in 2009 to a buyer in Denmark for an eye-popping $1.2 million, making her the most expensive cow ever sold, which wasn't for nothing. You see, Missy went on to become the grand champion at 2009 Western Fall National Show, the supreme grand champion of all breeds in 2011, and the grand champion at the Winter Fair in Toronto. I can say that Missy has a lot of certificates to show off. The Tibetan Mastiff was originally bred to secure herds of livestock, and it is easy to see why. They are absolute monsters, easily outweighing the average human being, but like most dogs, they are just friendly. Purebred specimens of this breed are quite rare, and they have become the latest status symbol among the rich in China. You see, in 2009, a Chinese woman dropped $500,000 on one of these dogs, and the very next year, another one was valued at $1.47 million. But in 2011, that record was broken when a Chinese tycoon dropped $1.5 million for a giant behemoth known as Big Splash, who was only 11 months at that time when he was sold, which means he had not finished growing yet. We have the most expensive pet in the world, and it is the green monkey. Well, green monkey isn't a monkey, but it is a thoroughbred racehorse, a descendant of the legendary horses the Northern Dancer and the Secretariat. As a 2-year-old colt, he was sold at auction for an unbelievable price of $16 million. As expensive as it is, the buyer, who was known as Dean Lorenzo, still thought that he was in for profit after the horse ran an 1/8 of a mile in a record-breaking time of 9.8 seconds. Lorenzo thought he had gold in his hands, but this was not the case, when Green Monkey went on only to race in 3 races, in which he lost all of them, before suffering a spine injury and went on to being euthanized in 2013 due to some complications. Well, we can say that Lorenzo kept all of his eggs in one basket, but do you know what is more expensive than the Green Monkey? A private jet. You wouldn't believe how much this private jet was bought for. So, to know how much it was sold for, click this video, and as for me, see you on the next flight.